Move to the section on working together for hard-pressed families in our community. I want to call on Emer Costello, MEP for Dublin, to introduce this section.
Good morning, delegates. Colleagues, I know what it's like to be unemployed looking for a job. As a young graduate back in the 1980s, I spent years looking for work, ending up in part-time precarious jobs, only to be told to take the boat by an official in an employment exchange. I know the impact unemployment can have on your morale and self-image, and I know how it can distance you from your family and friends and from your community. It's not an experience I would like to repeat, and it's not one that I wish on any other person. And that is why tackling unemployment, particularly youth unemployment, has been my main priority as Dublin's MEP. It's not acceptable that 50,000 young people in Ireland, including 15,000 young people, are out of work. I have travelled the length and breadth of Dublin city and county over the past 2 years, and I've yet to meet a community that hasn't been ravaged by youth unemployment. But I've also seen the amazing efforts being made by local communities to combat this scourge. And that is why I am working with our Labour ministers and sister parties across Europe to make Europe work better for young people. I'm working with Joan Burton through the European Youth Guarantee to ensure that young people are offered quality employment, continued education, training or an apprenticeship within 4 months of becoming unemployed or leaving full-time education. Ireland is set to receive 130 million from this fund over the next 2 years. Working with Rory Quinn for Erasmus Plus to boost skills, employability and improve education, training and youth work. Through the new Employment and Social Innovation Programme with Sean Sherlock to support ways of promoting jobs for young people. And through the European Alliance of Apprenticeships to reform and expand our apprenticeship system. And the high European-wide standards for trainees, which I believe is very important to ensure that an internship is a positive experience for all young people. Colleagues, after 6 hard years, Ireland is at last moving in the right direction. We have exited Fianna Fáil's parting gift, the Troika bailout. Unemployment is falling and the numbers of at work is rising. But for the first time in years, we can glimpse a better future. But we do know that for many people for whom all the talk of positive indicators is still largely meaningless. People have no work, not enough work, or work that doesn't pay enough to pay the bills. Parents wonder what their kids will do when they leave school, and grandparents wonder when they will ever see their grandchildren again. Colleagues, we know recovery is not just a bookkeeping exercise of lower deficits and debt. We can only talk of recovery when there are enough jobs for everyone, when people have money at the end of the month to build for their future. Labour's task is now to make the recovery real for people. Our recovery has to mean getting more good jobs, dealing with debt, dealing with delivering free GP care, and addressing the burden of national taxes on hard-pressed families. Working together, we want to shape a more progressive Europe, one that remains an economic bloc that helps Irish businesses to trade, Irish companies to export, and Irish people to get jobs. But also a Europe that copper fastens the rights of women, workers, and of minorities. And we know that our recovery has to be felt in our local communities, in our towns, cities and rural communities. Our Taoiseach, ministers, TDs, senators, they all know the value of local government. Their political careers started out in their local communities, working together to bring about change in their local areas. And no party has a better record in local government than the Labour Party. I know this from my own work in Dublin City Council and as a former Lord Mayor of Dublin. No party is better at working for local jobs and to support local businesses. Colleagues, change can be slow, but working together we can change our communities and we can bring about a real recovery.
Thank you very much, Emer. Can I call on Councillor John Redmond, Caberfinglas electoral area.